There we go. So one of the issues I might have is so many things going in my head in the morning and not being able to work out Periscope. Good morning. I've got my screen too dark. Just finished brushing my teeth. There we go. Good morning. Maya. Hello, Maya. Hello, Kenny. So today, just on here, I've got Maya. We're going to talk about you first because I've got all my little post-it notes on here. My kitchen Trello board, and Maya, who I met online via our friend's blog, and we actually have the same birthday, and that's the 30th of August, and she's going to be in London on the 30th of August, and we're going to go and watch another friend get on a boat and sail around the world for a year. And our birthday's on the 30th of August, which is next Sunday, and we've committed to, I'm going to do a blog every day because I've always wanted to do that. For about 10 years I've wanted to do that, and through some, I've lost my fingers, but now I've learned how to type. And Maya's going to put a video blog out every day, and so that's that one done. So which brings me to this one here. Do something that scares you every day. I used to do stuff that scared me every day, but it was really stupid stuff like drinking too much or snorting tons and tons of drugs off of nightclub floors and wanting to kill myself. And now 6:30 every day, I genuinely get more done every day as a result of doing this Periscope. And it makes me think, the responsibility of coming up and going, I've got to have something to say. And this is only number 5, and I promise you it will get better. Come back in a year and it'll be like coherent, useful, value added stuff. But I was with my mate Phil who runs a co-working place called At Work Hubs, a very major station in London, Euston Station in London, and it's actually I've got to tell you, it is the best co-working place on Euston Street in London. So check it out, whatever check it out means. But I was looking at an instruction book. You're supposed to say check it out a lot in your tweets and periscopes. And we were like slapping ourselves on the back going, oh, isn't it going well? Isn't it great? Oh yeah, oh, everything's fine and dandy, it's raining money from the roof. But actually just and on purpose is working really, really well, and doing something that we both meditate in the morning, we both do 750 words, and then we both do, he does a walk and talk and I do this. So that's great. And I remember I was chatting with my friend Seth Godin once, and he said, Bernie, I blog even if no one read it. And I said, you know what, Seth, I blog and no one does read it. And he laughed politely because you're supposed to. But it occurred to me that that's where the art is. I don't know. Yeah, the thing is that you get to an edge, and I have got. I don't know why I keep looking at the over here is the fan on my, hang on, I'll be there, fan on my cooker, and I keep looking at it like a blue moth. I get dragged over here. So you get to a point where there's like no edge, and you have to make it up. And if you can carry on writing, filming, traveling, cooking, whatever it is, when there's no map or no instruction book, that's the really, really scary bit. And that's where, well, it's not actually really scary. It's challenging, and you have to think for yourself. I think for me it's scary because I have to think for myself, and doing anything for myself is really, really inconvenient. So done that one. Later on we're reading the Amy Hoy book. If you know Amy Hoy, look up Just Fucking Do It, because me and my co-worker are going to ship a book on something to do with Trello. I've forgotten what it is, and we've got a meeting at 11 o'clock today in the meeting room in 90 Mainyard, our co-working place. But we're just gonna do something in like 24 hours, and I might come back here in 48 hours and go, we didn't do that, but we haven't done anything like that. And a couple of things I meant to mention yesterday are 31 Days to a Better Blog, which is the 31 Days to a Better Blog, which is the, is that funny? Is that a little bit funny? Which is a book that Darren Rowles and Chris Garrett, who I forgot to include yesterday, did maybe about 5 years ago. And it is, if you Google 31 Days to a Better Blog, and it follows their podcast, and even though I know so much about blogging, I'm possibly the the most knowledgeable blogger in my street. This one just takes you through step by step by step of like tiny little exercises. Thank you. Tiny little exercises you can do, and in 31 days you're a super blogger. So that's marvelous. Definitely check that out, because checking it out is what you do. There was something else up here that I wanted to I haven't worked this out, but I wanted to say about the new media conference that we're going to in Europe, which is in Manchester, and my mind's gone completely blank. But if you look up New Media Europe, it's a conference taking place in Manchester, and there's loads of great. When I say like great speakers, like for me, there's loads of people going who are just really nice to know. The podcast movement and community is getting off its arse in Europe and getting connected. And I went to the event that Mike and Isabella Russell did last year in Birmingham. It was so nice to go to something outside Birmingham, because in the UK, because it's so small, everything's in London, and it was really nice to go to a town with people with different accents, and where cappuccinos didn't cost £7 each. And unbelievably, I hate meeting new people. I hate going to things. I was really scared that I was going to meet all these people, and I met my colleague John Boskell from Sweden for the first time in the flesh, even though I've been working online for ages. And I was as happy as a pig in shit. I met people who were blogging about, podcasting about detective books and gardening and kitchen fitting and skiing. As a guy who was talking about, had a podcast about outdoor survival skills, like everything. And this is a kind of, it's the same feeling I get in WeShare. Everyone was a little bit weird, not in that kind of like I'm quirky, but in that kind of like, this might be a bit weird, Henry Rollins, Dave Grohl, David Bowie, don't care what people think kind of way. You know, they were like, we are all weird people there. Not weird as in axe murderer weird or politician weird, but it was a. I'm a bit lost for words because I'm trying to find exactly the right thing. It's like when we did a big meetup of meetup organisers in London about 5 or 6 years ago, and we went around a room and said, "What's your meetup?" And there's something like 120, maybe more than that, meetup organisers there, and they all said something. And the people that are practiced at talking at breakfast meetings went, "Hello, I'm David. I run the Chiswick property meeting, and I work with a range of clients working on something that's specific to our client." And everyone would like shot him. And then people went round and said, "You know, we're the Whitechapel Hispanic Tango group, and we're the there was a London Shy meetup there. There was the what was it? It's like, you know, the one-legged. Actually, a great one was a group of nurses from a hospital ran a meetup, which was a soup kitchen. So it was like a 24-hour meetup, and I don't know if it's still there. I would imagine it is, but it was a 24-hour soup kitchen that they ran on Meetup and volunteered to staff it, and people could drop in, get some food, and then go off again. And it was for the people in society that are more than you think, that are not eligible for support from the state, and they're not quite messed up enough to be comfortable. I know what I mean, but they're in that sort of that void. So that's the people they helped, and they ran it on Meetup. There was the Hampstead. There was the Hampstead Gay Philosophy Meetup, and then there was a union that was run on Meetup. But that was the London that I've always been searching for. That, you know, I've spent years walking around, looking at things, visiting museums, and then this little hub of people right in the middle, just doing their thing, showed up, and they weren't Lady Gaga weird, you know, like trying to be weird. They were just there doing their thing, you know, comfortable in their own skin, I think is where I'm going with that. So now I've gone off on a tangent. I've lost where I was going. Do apologise. So the last thing I want to do is, I was telling you about New Media Europe. Sorry, is get to New Media Europe, and I must be like the most unique podcaster in the world, because I think I'm the only podcaster on the face of the planet that hasn't listened to a Cliff Ravenscraft podcast, and mainly that's because I've got into podcasting via John Boskell from Moondog. So I've always had my private podcast coach, and people like Anne Hawkins and Andy Bardry and Yanis from Klaxon have helped me in my podcasting journey, and Jonathan, who we work with in WeShare and runs the London Tech Startup Slack group. I've had people to pick up, so I haven't picked up things from, so I haven't had to find out a lot about podcasting, but I've just noticed how everyone's saying everyone I speak to has either listened to John Lee Dumas or Cliff Ravenscraft, and I'm the only one that hasn't, because I'm weird. Anyway, I am out of time now. What I'm going to do today is jump out of here, chuck over to 90 Main Yard, and then send this video to Fancy Hands. That's the other person that hasn't. Send this video to Fancy Hands because I'm going to try and get it up on YouTube today. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow and go, I've got it onto YouTube because I'm so cool. Second biggest search engine in the world, isn't it? Okay, have a great day. Love to you all three of you. Ciao!